I grew up in a small town east of Cleveland. There wasn't a whole lot to do there, so I learned to make my own fun, to be creative. Once I graduated from high school, I headed off to Chicago looking for adventure. I traveled to another country for the first time, and I started my writing career as an English major. While I was there, I met some of the best friends of my entire life. Basically, every day was an adventure. Literally the day after my graduation ceremony, I flew off to Ketchikan, Alaska, where I worked as a tour guide on a crabbing boat for the next 5 months. I fell in love with my job and with the nature out there, so I'll be going back out there for another season. Once I left Alaska, I could not stop traveling. I bought a one-way ticket to Hawaii, and I stayed there for about a month. Then I headed to Los Angeles, Portland, and Seattle before going home for the holidays. But I couldn't sit at home for long, so I ran off to Seattle, where you can stand downtown looking out over the water with mountain ranges on either side of you. I wasn't used to traveling in the United States. I always thought that our country was kind of boring, that adventure could only be found in far-off places. I'll admit that I was a little mile crazy. How far I traveled and how many places I had visited became more important than the experience itself. Because I had wandered through Belgium, Germany, and the Czech Republic, I had rode around through the jungle in Costa Rica, and I shared tea in clay huts in India. I was addicted to these places where you stepped off the plane and the air itself was unrecognizable. There's nothing wrong with that, except everything would seem boring in comparison. How could you beat getting lost in the Himalayan mountains?
Okay, so now Katie and I are separated from the rest of the pack. They're up there.
They are. And our other pack is back there.
I don't know if you can see the rain clouds descending upon the mountains.
But I just heard thunder.
There's some water buffalo. Yes, we heard water buffalo.
No,
There's a mystery
thunder.
man. We heard water buffalo. We heard thunder. We've been going for about 4 miles now.
But finally, after traveling throughout the United States for a while, I learned that every place is worth seeing, that Denver can be just as exciting as Kashmir. The old saying is true, that the journey is more important than the destination. I decided to create a blog where I could share my experience with others. And as I travel, I try to encourage people to see the world, to treat every day as an adventure. Travel changes us because we're in constant motion. We put on a set of new eyes and lose the old ones. So let's travel again and never stop.